like do a little call to like, good evening, everyone.
How do we get everyone's attention?
Hello.
We're ready to start. If everyone could take their seats, please. Thank you. Good evening. All right, wait. Over there. Hello. Okay, we'll just wait till everyone's had a seat. Elizabeth, you gonna sit down? Okay. Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to 2019 West Hollywood Rainbow Key Awards. My name is Lauren Costine, and I am the co-chair of the Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board for the City of West Hollywood. On behalf of co-chair Jason Frazier and the Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board, we thank you for joining us for this very special occasion.
Good evening. Tonight, we are so pleased to honor individuals and organizations who have truly made a difference in our community. All have made significant contributions as we present the awards tonight. You'll see they've all done this in their own unique and creative ways.
Before we begin this evening's program, however, we'd like to take a moment of silence to remember
and honor the 49 lives lost 3 years ago in the mass shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando.
None of us would be here, and this event would not exist without the tremendous support of the West Hollywood City Council. We'd like to introduce the mayor and council members who are with us this evening. You'll be hearing from them shortly as they join us in the awards presentation.
It's truly our pleasure to introduce Mayor John D'Amico, Mayor Pro Tempore Lindsey HORVATH, Councilmember John DURAN, Councilmember John HEILMAN, and Councilmember Lauren Meister.
We can take our seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can stand there if you like.
Welcome. Yes. Tonight, we are also honored to be joined by representatives from the offices of U.S. Senator Kamala Harris, U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, U.S. Congressmember Adam Schiff, State Senator Ben Allen, State Assembly Member Richard Bloom, LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl, and West Basin Municipal Water District Board Member Scott Houston. Each of those offices have also provided proclamations recognizing tonight's honorees. We are also thrilled to welcome Los Angeles City Controller Ron GALPERIN, the first openly gay official to be elected to citywide office in Los Angeles, to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. And happy Pride! It is great to be here in West Hollywood and to be representing that suburb of West Hollywood known as the City of Los Angeles. And to be here in this city that has really led the world when it comes to LGBTQ inclusion, equality, and advocacy. And that is because of so many great leaders who have been in West Hollywood, both those who are unelected and those who are appointed, and also an amazing city council that you have today. The fact that you've got all the members of the city council who are here, I think, is an amazing testament to how committed this city is to issues of LGBT inclusion and to leading the world. So give it up for them. And while I'm an elected official in the city of Los Angeles, it really was West Hollywood that inspired me and made it possible for somebody like me to run for office. Because years ago, and I'm kind of dating myself from many years ago, the idea of being out and proud and getting elected didn't always exactly go together. But West Hollywood showed that it could happen and led the way for so many of us all over the United States who are members of the LGBTQ community to step up into roles of leadership. So thank you so very much, City of West Hollywood, and to all of you elected officials and everybody else in the City of West Hollywood. It is also an honor to be here for the Rainbow Key Awards. And that is, of course, as you know, to recognize individuals and organizations and groups that have really gone above and beyond, and not just for the LGBTQ community, but for all of us. Because it's not just about the rights of our community as members of the LGBTQ community plus, it is for everybody, and fighting for everybody's rights here in Los Angeles, in California, in the United States, the whole world. And I am feeling a lot of pride this month and this week. And we have a lot to be proud of our history, part of those who came before us, proud of those who sacrificed, proud of the sacrifices that actually led to progress that we've been able to achieve, proud of so many LGBT young people today who are just doing amazing things and are really setting now the example for some of us in generations that maybe came before. And we've also hit so many milestones as an LGBTQ community. And we have so much to be thankful for. But of course, I think we all know what is happening in parts of our country. We all know what is happening in Washington, D.C., where there are those who want to rip our rights from us. And are we going to let that happen? No way. So we are here with both pride and we are here with purpose. And we are here with a purpose to continue this movement until everybody is able to realize the life that they are entitled to. And showing us the way are all of tonight's honorees, Kelly Gilliam, Jeffrey Bauman, Jake Mason. Also, of course, you've got Project Angel Food. And I'm going to take a point of personal privilege just for one moment as I conclude, and that is one of the honorees, which is Rabbi Lisa Edwards. And give it up for her. My husband and I have been together now for 22 years. It's amazing he's put up with me for that long. And we had a wedding many years ago now, which was not actually a wedding then because it wasn't legal at that time. And then we decided right before Prop 8 to actually get officially married. And we thought that was a really important thing to do at that time. My husband is a rabbi, and so we're really picky about rabbis. And there is one that we chose and one that we knew was the perfect person to help us join us in our legal union, and that was Rabbi Lisa Edwards. And who's here with her wife Tracy, and who's also absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to tear up, but you are always a part of our lives and intertwined with us forevermore. And you are just an absolute gem for the community. And so she's retiring this year, but she's not going to be retiring from continuing to do wonderful works. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Congratulations to all of the honorees, and you are an inspiration to us all. And thank you, City of West Hollywood, and happy Pride!
Thank you so much, Mr. Controller. We'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge past recipients of the Rainbow Key Awards. Please stand so that we may recognize you.
Elizabeth. Since 1993, the City of West Hollywood has presented Rainbow Key Awards annually to those who have made outstanding contributions to West Hollywood's gay and lesbian community. These contributions by an individual or a group may be in many forms, including the arts, community action, faith, humanitarian action, sports, medicine, armed services, leadership, and/or benefit to the global gay and lesbian community. We appreciate all those who took the time to submit nominations, and I can assure you that this board reviewed those nominations and put a lot of thought into the selection process. We hope you will enjoy this evening's presentation. So without further ado, let's recognize our first honoree. I'd like to invite Mayor D'Amico and board members Lucas Junkin and Billy Francesca to present our first award to Jake Mason.
So there's a lot of trouble in this room, and most of it is now on the stage. And right, we're about to bring up the fourth piece of this trouble pie. So I'm here mostly as decoration, I think. But I want to say that, Jake and I met, I guess, about 9 years ago. And just shortly after that, he was trying to bring dodgeball to West Hollywood, to do that thing that people in West Hollywood do so regularly, which is invent something that changes how we all think of the city. And Jake did that right there, that guy in that seat. He said, I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to involve thousands of our residents and others in this thing that's going to change their lives, it's going to involve them in the community, it's going to make a difference. And I saw that in 2012, I think the year after it happened, and I actually nominated Jake for this award at that time, and I'm so pleased that we finally come around to giving him one of these, and I know that he will be in this audience a lot, and when that moment comes, when we ask past recipients to stand up, he will do so, and I'm just very excited that Jake, who's such a terrific guy and has such a great vision, is getting one of these awards. And now I'm going to turn it over to these two, and they're going to say the words that are on here. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like Marilyn Monroe, I wanted to, thank you, Mr. President. Are you sure there's some gay people in the audience? I'm sorry.
It's my birthday later this month.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll find something that fits me better. Okay. I'm reading from my script so I don't say anything horrible about balls flying at my face. Jake, wait a minute. For many of us in our school days, dodgeball was something feared and dreaded, something to be survived, not enjoyed. They wrote this for me so I don't say anything horrible. Hold on, I'm going. Jake Mason has completely flipped the script on what this crazy sport could mean for us could mean for so many in our community. And he's done it with such fun and flair and built an even stronger community in the process. Lucas.
Stronger. Thanks. I've admired your work from afar. Jake's leadership with the Weho Dodgeball, the largest LGBTQ dodgeball league in the country with at least 500 members playing every week, or 500 people playing every week, has helped create a space that accepts everyone for friendly competition, for social connections, and that's, on and off the court. He's focused on giving back to the community, and he's brought that message to the members that are part of his league. Tonight, we're thrilled to recognize his contributions with the Rainbow Key Award. Jake, come on.
They let me have the mic? This is dangerous. Thank you. No, the power's going right to my head. I just, real quickly, this is really awesome. Thank you, Mayor D'Amico. You just made me cry. And yeah, we wanted to do something fun, and I knew that people wanted to play sports and find a way to meet each other outside of bars. Not that bars aren't fantastic, but we just needed an excuse to get there, and dodgeball is a great excuse for that. I didn't know that I was going to be introduced to just the most amazing human beings I've ever met in my life, like every form of human being. And this community has just meant so much to me. But what means more is that we were actually, people are, oh, it's dodgeball, but we have, this is it, this is a community. And I never knew through the community I'd have to get involved with city politics and then learn to love and be involved in the city and realize that just by existing, our league is a political statement. And just by existing together, we are a political statement. And then our voices get stronger and we lift each other up. And whether you're here doing amazing work like feeding the homeless or doing bingo, every part of it, every part that you add to this community is important. And I wrote something, but I guess I'm just gonna not really, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. And especially the city council and just the city for giving us the support, because I think John specifically and everybody, you guys saw, all the Johns actually, saw something special. And I've used your support and you guys as models and inspiration to grow, and we will continue to lift each other up. And I know this is from the Gay and Lesbian Advisory Board, but we all lift each other up, whether you're a little LGBTQ questioning person or just a woman of color in need or whatever. We lift each other up so we grow together and keep being loud and throw balls at each other. Thank you. Next, I'd like to welcome Mayor Pro Tem Lindsay Horvath, Co-Chair Lauren Costin, Board Member Zakiya Wright to present our next award to Asian Pacific Gays and Friends.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and pleasure to be here with you. I feel like I get to receive an award being here with all of you and getting to serve this incredibly amazing community. This Pride Month is a spectacular time for all of us to be together. And I want to thank all of the elected officials who are here, or representatives of different offices, and all of our appointed officials who are here, and especially congratulate all of tonight's honorees. You represent a beautiful diversity, the beautiful tapestry that is our community in West Hollywood, that is the LGBTQ family, and I just want to thank you for all that you do each and every day. We just had an amazing Pride celebration, and I want to thank everyone who made it possible. And the theme this year was #JustUnite, and I think that really speaks to all of the honorees who are here tonight, and especially Asian Pacific Gays and Friends. This community is one that perhaps isn't as recognized or as well known as some others in our community, but serving and bringing people together in ways that we'll learn about officially and also experience hopefully for many years to come. I think it's really incredible that we are honoring this organization not just for the people of color that are part of their community, but all of the supporting community, the friends part of and friends, is also important to remember that we all have to be there for one another. We have to have a supportive community and stand together each and every day. And so I want to congratulate Asian Pacific Gays on their work and their award tonight. And now I will turn it over to our board members for the official presentation.
We are thrilled to recognize Asian Pacific Gays and Friends with a Rainbow Key Award this evening. This nonprofit social and educational group was established for gay Asian and friends who share an interest in Asian cultures and experiences. In addition, the organization works to support the full human and civil rights of gay men and women and to provide a support system for gay men and women of Asian Pacific Islander descent in their relationships with their families and communities to accept each other with caring and pride.
Asian Pacific Gays and Friends' primary purpose is to provide a supportive environment where the interaction between members is enjoyable, safe, and enriching. Those social and educational opportunities include theater, bowling, and skate nights, but hopefully not at the same time. As well as providing linkage to HIV information and services. We're honored to present this 2019 Rainbow Key Award to Ariel Rosales, the organization's president, who is accepting on behalf of Asian Pacific Gays and Friends.
On behalf of Asia Pacific Gays and Friends, thank you for this prestigious award. And if you wanted to know more about our group, you can visit our website, apgf.org. We have a lot of events, not at the same time. And happy Pride.
Now I'd like to bring up Councilmember John Duran, John Heilman, Co-Chair Jason Frazier, and board members Seppi Shine to present our next award to Project Angel Food. CEO Richard Ayub will be receiving the award for Project Angel Food.
Before I make my remarks, I've been on the council for more than half the city's life, but there's a person here who has been on the council since the very beginning of the city and one of our founders, and really it's his vision that made all of this possible. So I'm going to defer to my colleague John Heilman to start.
He's being nice to me for some reason, I don't know. We were really mean to each other over the weekend during Pride. No, we like to tease each other. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to the advisory board for the incredible work you do. I know many of you were busy this weekend with Pride, and we had a great celebration. It's my great pleasure to be here with you to honor Project Angel Food and, in fact, to honor all of the recipients. We just have so much of a debt of gratitude to Project Angel Food for the incredible work they have provided for many, many years in this community. From the very founding of the organization to the present, they have been there for people, particularly in the early days, people who were homebound, suffering from HIV and AIDS, who lost all of their support, lost their family, and they were providing nutritious meals. They've now expanded their purview, and they have been doing an incredible job. So I know that the official thank you is coming from our advisory board, but I personally want to thank you for the great work you've done and continue to do for our community. Thank you.
So Project Angel Food was started in 1989 by Marianne Williamson, who's currently running for president, Dr. Louise Hay, who started the hay rides, and David Kessler, who's actually here tonight. I'd like David to stand and be acknowledged as one of the founders of Project Angel Food. All three of these individuals were involved at the beginning of the epidemic. Louise Hay starting her hay rides to provide spiritual comfort and healing to those who were given no hope. There were no drugs, there were no treatments. There was nothing but a span of time left for somebody to live. Marianne Williamson brought her Course in Miracles to a lot of people who were seeking some opening into spirituality to figure out what life meant in the face of death, in the face of dying as a 20-year-old. And David Kessler started Progressive Nursing Services. He's a trained nurse. And as much tribute as we give, historically, to the doctors and the lawyers and the politicians who responded to HIV and AIDS, we never give enough thanks and gratitude to the nurses who were bedside throughout the epidemic. And these three individuals gathered together, and out of the Center for Living, which was Marianne's dream, the Center for Living started to operate a kitchen at the corner of Fountain and Fairfax at the Methodist Church, which would become the first kitchen for Project Angel Food. It's hard to, David and I were talking before the event this evening about those early days where we did all of our socialization around an epidemic. We saw each other at funerals and memorials. We saw each other at Cedars-Sinai or at Midway. We were constantly running into one another in the face of peril. And out of that, there came a need for people to eat. People who were stricken with HIV and AIDS were unable to work, were unable to do the things they used to do. We're no longer the bells of the ball at Studio One, and we're feeling very depressed and alone and isolated. And out of that came the necessity for delivery of hot meals to people who were isolated and alone. Chris Williamson writes a song called Waterfall, the changer and the changed, that when you open your life up to the living, all things come pouring in on you. You begin flowing like a river. The changer and the changed are the lyrics that she wrote. And what those lyrics meant is in the midst of the worst epidemic, the worst moment to hit our people, to hit our community, an opportunity was born for people to be of love and service. Because so many didn't have the big checkbooks to write the big checks to help fight HIV and AIDS. So many didn't have the enormous time to end up working for one of the nonprofits. So many didn't have maybe the legal or the medical expertise, but they wanted to do something. And the something became preparing meals and delivering those hot meals to people in need. And as they were doing that work, and they were changing lives, in the process they were too changed. And out of that was birthed an organization that has been at the heart and the soul of the LGBT community now for 30 years. So while the number of people living with HIV and AIDS has greatly diminished, and while the number of people who need or poverty-stricken or need hot meals with HIV and AIDS is greatly diminished from what it was in the 80s and early 90s. There's still plenty of people in poverty and need and illness throughout all of Los Angeles. And Project Angel Food has stepped into that void to show that LGBT people and the organizations that we create are capable of serving people regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, and now serve primarily heterosexual people of color throughout greater Los Angeles. So I know Richard Ayub is going to come up in a minute and accept, and he's an incredible leader with what he's doing now with Project Angel Food. He's the 4th executive director of Project Angel Food, John Guile being one of the past. And much kudos to Richard for his vision in making sure that people continue have a place where they can go to make a difference, to be of love and service, and to give those to those who are less fortunate. So congratulations, Project Angel Food. You are one of our heroes.
As Councilmember Duran mentioned, we're so proud that Project Angel Food has its roots here in West Hollywood. Born in the darkest days of the AIDS epidemic, Project Angel Food has been a steadfast and vitally important service provider to those living with HIV and now with other chronic diseases. Last year, Project Angel Food served its 11 millionth meal. And just last week, was named 2019 Nonprofit Organization of the Year by the California State Senate.
Through its home-delivered meal program, Project Angel Food supports the health and wellness of community members throughout Los Angeles County by providing a meal for each day of the week, and each specially tailored meal supports the medical and nutritional needs of those who receive it. Those living with serious illnesses can sometimes feel isolated. And Project Angel Food delivers drivers who provide regular human interaction, which helps those who feel isolated. Thank you. And in addition, Project Angel Food volunteers help create special hand-decorated birthday and holiday bags for their clients. Tonight, CEO Richard Ayub is here to receive the Rainbow Key Award for Project Angel Food.
Richard asked me to graciously say a few words, or he graciously asked me to say a few words first. I think about tonight the word choice, and it was mentioned about Mary Ann starting this organization. And, you know, I think so many of us in this room back in that day didn't feel there was choice. We were dying, so we needed to help one another. But people like Mary Ann Williamson so could have just looked the other way. And like so many of our friends, they didn't. When everyone stepped back, they stepped forward. So she wishes she could be here tonight with us, but she's in Nevada running for president, it was told. So she's busy tonight, but we'll be here this Sunday. Anyway, I just also wanted to just say about the old days, and Richard will tell you about the new days, but you know, back then, we were the LA Center for Living. Mary Ann wanted a place for people to gather. And all of a sudden, people were calling that they were too sick to come in and eat. And Mary Ann so wanted us to have these gourmet meals for people. And then we just thought, well, I'm sure there's a Meals on Wheels thing. And then we found out that you didn't qualify because you weren't a senior at that time. And so we thought, well, we can't just say, well, hope you get better and come get some meals someday. We knew that they weren't going to be able to. So we decided to bring the meals to them. And one thing we said so early on to all the wonderful volunteers who said, and everyone back then was volunteering to deliver meals. We told them, you are not just bringing food, you are bringing love. And we wanted to make sure before people left the planet, they felt a bit of love. And that's Project Angel Food. Thank you. So, this is what, thank you, sir, and we're glad. And now our child was born, and Richard's the person who takes care of our teenager, no, 30 now, so not teenager, almost midlife. But Richard, I'm so proud of your work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the amazing David Kessler. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge we have our board chair, Bobby Ralston, here, and board member Wayne Elias. Will you both please stand up? Thank you very much for your leadership. And also my right-hand man at Project Angel Food, Mark McBride, our Director of Philanthropy. Thank you very much, Mark. I love how 2 of the 3 Johns introduced us. That's pretty amazing. Everything that could possibly be said about Project Angel Food has been said. But what I'd like to tell you, today, 30% of our clients are living with HIV. Most of those clients have comorbidities, which mean they may have diabetes as well, or heart disease, or kidney failure. And what's happening in our HIV community that got the illness very early on, some of them, is they have early onset of aging. So in their 50s, they're getting illnesses that people in their 70s and 80s get. And our motto is and has always been for life, for love, for as long as it takes. And we are there for as long as it takes. Some of our clients, we have been there. We've been there for 30 years. We've been there with some of the clients for more than 20 years. And they have needed us for every day of that 20 years. And as John Duran said, this beautiful gift that was created out of the darkest days of AIDS and created out of a crisis in the LGBT community and the allies has now been expanded to anyone who is sick, hungry, and alone. And I'm happy to tell you that for the first time ever, the state of California is funding Project Angel Food. And we are leading the country in a state pilot program. We are taking people with congestive heart failure. We're giving all 3 meals a day. They can only have 2 grams of salt a day. That's very low salt. Celery, a stalk of celery has 32 milligrams of salt. So you can imagine how hard it is. These are the highest utilizers of the hospital system. They're the ones who get readmitted more than anything. They cost the healthcare system money. So we are proving that our healthy meals can bring down healthcare costs and save the state and us taxpayers thousands of dollars. I can give you some early observations. We have 75 people on the program. It's only been a year. And only 10% of them were readmitted into the hospital 30 days after discharge. Only 10%. The average is 35%. That means we've reduced it by 65%. Phenomenal, phenomenal numbers. And I will tell you that we're also doing for the first time a study with the Native American population. We got a special grant to feed people with diabetes who are Native Americans and see how it affects their lifestyle. So all of that is really beautiful, but the most important thing is by doing this, we are actually improving their quality of life. We are helping them live longer. For some people who, if they walk from here to there, they can't breathe. Now they can breathe. They don't need oxygen machines anymore. They don't need asthma medication because we believe food is medicine, and our food is helping them live longer, feel happier, and just helping all of anyone around them, their family. There was someone who came to me the other day and said, "Can I hug you?" I said, "Sure." She said, "You provide my father with lunch every day. I'm at work. I don't have to worry that he's getting the right food. He has kidney failure. He has to have reduced potassium, phosphorus, and sodium. That's a hard diet to do. Project Angel Food provides that diet for him, and his daughter can go to work and have comfort knowing her father is being taken care of." And that's what we do. We do that for 1,400 people every day. And thank you to the city of West Hollywood, which has been there since day one. And it is the only city in LA County that said to us, if you have someone who needs all 3 meals, give it to them and we will fund it. So thank you, City of West Hollywood. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know, right? Next, I'd like to welcome board member Zakiya Wright and co-chair Lauren Costine to present our next award.
MECCA LA, hosted by Kelly Gilliam, works to bring the lesbian, queer, and non-binary community together for social impact. Through MECCA LA's free monthly events, women who love women in our community are able to network, create, or grow their projects and give back to the community.
Using the power of social media and networking, MECCA LA serves to promote the innovative and creative work of women in our community by supporting their efforts to crowdfund and increase their reach across diverse audiences. We know how important it is to provide this type of support for women, entrepreneurs, and innovators who are too often overlooked and underfunded. For her work to bring the impact of MECCA to the greater Los Angeles and West Hollywood area, we're thrilled to present the Rainbow Key Award to MECCA LA's Kelly Gilliam.
Thank you. It's actually kind of overwhelming to follow after those two gentlemen, but I really do. I would love to work with them at some point, but my name is Kelly Gilliam, and I put on MECCA, and so, you know, I'm standing here as a sole person, but in actuality, MECCA is, give or take, about probably all across the United States, about 5,000 women, and it's free, right? I do not make any money off of this thing, and what I love to do is just network with women in our community. And so I first came down here about a year ago, and this is actually where I met numerous people at my first MECCA event. MECCA, for example, was Les Do Brunch, who actually should be recognized, is Alana. And that's what it is. It's twice a month, and you know, once in a while, yes, the venue is a bar, but I pick venues, for example, in the community that are just starting out. So for example, it was Lapeer Hotel that had just opened up about 6 months prior to us. So for us, we're bringing them the money. I want to make sure that that all the women are having fun. They're meeting new women. They're networking, but at the same time that the venue is also making money as well, right? So it's a win-win situation. And the last time we actually had it at the Pally House, which is actually owned by a younger lesbian. So we had our last event there with actually LA Pride. And what I love to do is I love to have events with community partners, right? So for example, like I said, the last one we had was on June 2nd, and it was with MECCA. And so a lot of women came from MECCA, Let's Do Brunch, LA Pride. And it's about interworking with everyone in our community, but also, not only am I having these events, it's meeting new people who, for example, Nick Casey, not like I need to do a shout out for Nick Casey, but I met a non-binary friend of mine at MECCA. I asked, Nick, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Nick said, I make boots. I looked at Nick's boots and I'm like, now those are some nice boots. And now I'm wearing those Nick boots, right? Nick Casey, because we need boots. But it's all about just networking amongst ourselves, but also supporting each other. When a film's coming up, whether it's Sonia Sebastian, whose new film came up to San Francisco at Frameline, and we blasted that out all over on MECCA LA's Facebook page, and she sold out. Did I get anything out of it? No, but it's like, like the gentleman, the LA Control man said, we have to support each other. Sorry. No, but it's true. Sorry. No, sorry. No, but it is, right? So it is. It's all about camaraderie and working together in any way that we can. But anyways, I love doing this. And if you ever get the chance, just come out and see it. We do it in San Francisco too. And it really is. It's just a fun, but love. And you feel the love, like when I look at Alana, it is. And there's a love with like Robin McWilliams and her wife just put on LA Pride, Madonna Cacciatore. It's all of us working together, like you said, And anyways, but I really, really appreciate this. Thank you, seriously, so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to welcome Councilmember Lauren Meister and board members Alana Roche and Billy Francesca to present our next award to Rabbi Lisa Edwards.
Happy Pride, everyone. First of all, I want to also congratulate all the award recipients. Congratulations. We really appreciate everyone being here. I want to also thank the Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board and our staff for putting together such a wonderful event. Let's give them a hand. It is my honor to give the next award. Rabbi Lisa Edwards, PhD, has long held a place of personal and professional esteem in both the LGBTQ and Jewish communities. Refusing to shed either her faith or her sexual orientation, Rabbi Edwards has been a Jewish lesbian activist from the pulpit to the streets and nearly everywhere in between. By offering up her considerable intellect, abiding faith, and deep commitment to fighting discrimination and bigotry, Rabbi Edwards has fought for the rights of LGBTQ people as well as attending to their spiritual needs. And alongside her on this journey since 1985 is her wife, Tracy Moore. Alana.
It is truly our pleasure to recognize Rabbi Lisa Edwards. Rabbi Edwards has been a steadfast and dedicated leader in our community. For more than 25 years, she has served as rabbi of Congregation Beit Chaim Hadashim. Yeah? Okay. All right. Or BCC. The world's first LGBTQ synagogue. She has been a thoughtful and effective advocate for marriage equality, the environment, and social and economic justice.
Rabbi Edwards has been there for our community. Whether we attend temple at BCC or not, she is a frequent speaker at West Hollywood events. Whether in support of marriage equality or providing the voice of faith leaders in times of loss and in the face of hate-based violence, Rabbi Edwards will be transitioning into, what is it, emerita? I thought it was emerita. They said it was not emerita. It's emerita. How do I, Lindsay? Emerita. Stop it, everybody. I'm slow. Status this year. Making this a perfect time for the West Hollywood LGBTQ community to recognize her decades of service, advocacy, and leadership with the Rainbow Key Award. Rabbi Edwards.
Thank you. I was in such suspense, Billy. I couldn't wait to hear what I was transitioning into. All right. Thank you. And before that, I thought I was happiest about the parking space out there. That's for the whole year, right? Yep. Thank you. I love it. I'm honored, really. I'm honored to be given this award and in such good company as the other honorees here tonight and over the years. It's remarkable for a city to take the time to honor those who have contributed to its well-being, its growth, its uniqueness. As you heard, I am retiring this year after 25 years as rabbi of Beit Chaim Chadashim, and because of that, I've spent a lot of time this year looking back over my 25 years as a spiritual leader in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles LGBTQ plus community. Among the many highlights of my career, I easily recall moments spent in West Hollywood, moments in which I was able to be seen and heard as a leader in the LGBTQ plus community and beyond because of the city of West Hollywood's leadership at so many extraordinary moments in our community's history, when we gathered by the hundreds, thousands in West Hollywood. Perhaps you also remember throughout the 1980s and into the 90s with the AIDS protests and memorials, the candlelight vigils at MCC on Santa Monica Boulevard in 1998 when Matthew Shepard was murdered in Wyoming, and 10 years later in front of Weho Park when high school student Lawrence King was shot, killed by the classmate he had a crush on. There were the years of the struggles for equality on the corner of Santa Monica and San Vicente against Prop 22 in 2000, the Knight Initiative, AKA California's Defense of Marriage Act, and the federal DOMA, which President Clinton signed but later denounced, and Don't Ask, Don't Tell, also enacted by the Clinton administration, but whose downfall we celebrated together when President Obama removed it in 2011. And protests against Prop 8, the next California anti-marriage initiative. And the celebrations, there were the California Domestic Partnership registrations, which West Hollywood made so special. And then, of course, the 4.5 months of legal weddings in 2008, starting off those months with West Hollywood's incredible day of marriage registration and weddings in West Hollywood Park. 11 years ago this coming Sunday, I think it was, where I was able to bring a dozen or more couples from BCC and officiate at their ceremonies right there, right here that day, in the beautiful wedding bowers that West Hollywood constructed in the park. A month later, in July of that year, my own partner, Tracy Moore, and I walked down an aisle in front of a crowd that filled Plummer Park's Fiesta Hall and then spilled out into Plummer Park itself, and how blessed I felt to officiate at dozens and dozens of weddings in that legal window of 2008, many of them in West Hollywood, and some more in 2013 when marriage equality came again to California. And then in June of 2015, how privileged I was to be speaking on behalf of the clergy at the most celebratory rally of all in West Hollywood Park, the day the United States Supreme Court made marriage equality the law of the land. Remember that? Our joys, of course, have been overlapped with sorrows. The Orlando massacre that we remembered earlier today in 2016 on the eve of our Pride Parade cast a long shadow on those festivities. The Transgender Days of Remembrance and Resilience with its gatherings right outside this building. And I remember speaking too at the Love in Action interfaith gathering that filled Fiesta Hall on January 19th, 2017, the eve of the current president's inauguration. And of course, there are the West Hollywood Pride Parades. The Reverend Troy Perry not only founded MCC, the Metropolitan Community Church, but also helped found our synagogue, BCC, as well as the very first Pride Parade anywhere in Los Angeles in 1970. Reverend Perry said then and still, it should be a parade, not a march. Be out and loud and proud. Let's show them we're happy to be who we are. And for many years, including this past Sunday, queer people of faith have been able to stand across Santa Monica Boulevard from the so-called religious protesters, offering our pre-parade interfaith pride service and our banner that reads, "We are in your faith." Our synagogue, Beit Chaim Chadashim, House of New Life, has always been in Los Angeles, not in West Hollywood. By the way, you're all invited to join us anytime. It's only 10 minutes due south of here. But we are well aware, all of us at BCC, we are well aware that it is the city of West Hollywood, along with the LA LGBT Center, and your commitment to the people and the communities we all serve that consistently draws us all together, that allows, invites, reminds us, indeed insists, that by partnering, we grow stronger, that by coming together, we grow visible, that by uniting in love and friendship and shared values, we really can change hearts and minds, and we can even change lives. I'll close with a story of how we are changing lives. This past Sunday, as I have so many times over the past 25 years, I took part in that pre-parade interfaith service next to the CVS that always lets us plug in our speaker system so we might drown out the protesters with our messages of love and pride. God thinks you're fabulous, we said this past Sunday. And then I helped carry the BCC banner in the JQ Jewish contingent of the Pride Parade. And the next day, a mother posted on BCC's Facebook that her 10-year-old daughter had recently come out as gender fluid, and they had attended Pride Shabbat at BCC this past Friday, and then at her daughter's request, the interfaith service on Sunday, where she said Rabbi Lisa invited them to come join BCC in the parade, and where she wrote, "You all made my daughter's year." Today, Monday, she was writing, "We are exhausted and sunburned." But I have tears of joy in my eyes because I had not seen my daughter so happy in a very long time. Pride Parade was truly a turning point for both of us, and I cannot thank you all enough. Together, we've helped change a 10-year-old's life for the better. I thank you all for this Rainbow Key Award. I'm proud to receive it, and I thank you even more for your partnership all these years and your hospitality, your willingness to provide the meeting places, as well as all the incredible efforts that go in, mostly behind the scenes, to making any of those events possible, so that all of our voices can be heard, our presence felt, our work accomplished, and our contributions acknowledged. Happy Pride Month, everyone. May we continue to strengthen one another.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rabbi Lisa. That was very moving. Next, I'd like to welcome Board Member Marquita Thomas and Co-Chair Jason Frazier to present our final award of the evening to Jeffrey Bowman of Legendary Bingo.
You probably can't consider yourself a true West Hollywood community member if you haven't taken part in Jeffrey Bowman's Legendary Bingo events. Legendary Bingo has its roots in West Hollywood, calling its first games here in April of 1998 in support of APLA. Since then, as the creator and producer, Jeffrey has made Legendary Bingo one of the most popular and longest-running weekly charity events in the greater West Hollywood area.
Jeffrey's vision was to create a weekly event that would allow a variety of charities to raise much-needed dollars in a fun and inexpensive way, and to include a younger demographic in these efforts, so that they could also experience the joy of fundraising. And he has, the Legendary Bingo, has raised more than $6 million for local and national charities for over the past 21 years. These charities have ranged from LGBTQ advocacy groups to elementary schools to arts groups. Jeffrey's commitment to support our community is deep, heartfelt, and impactful. The city of West Hollywood has previously proclaimed Legendary Bingo Day in the city, and tonight we are truly honored to recognize Jeffrey with the Rainbow Key Award.
I would have liked a standing ovation, but that's okay. We don't.
There's still time!
At the end, we could do it at the end. I'm sorry. That's what we do. No, the problem with getting me on a microphone is that's what we do. Like, our job is to get up here and make you laugh. So I'm going to try to be a little bit serious. We appreciate so much the city of West Hollywood. 21 years, always in West Hollywood. And the last 15 years at Hamburger Mary's, and I really want to thank the owner of Hamburger Mary's, Dale Warner, right there, for supporting us. I drive him crazy, but at the same time, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. And also, I want to introduce Roxy Wood, who is not only one of the most popular bingo hostess that I have, but she is also my assistant, and she books all of the charities, and we deal with over 200 charities a year. So I want you to give it up for Roxy Wood, because it's, without drag queens, we wouldn't be Drag Queen Bingo. And we have other people. We have a show going on right now at Hamburger Mary's while we're here, as a matter of fact. But I decided, I was sitting there listening to everybody, and you know what we've done. I mean, we started this for people with HIV and AIDS, and then, we still do. Every anniversary, we do it for APLA. It's very important. We do a lot of LGBTQ 2 plus A, all of that, all the time. But at the same time, I think it is important to note that one of our goals was to create an event that everybody would go to and everybody would look around and say, we're all the same. Gay, straight, young, old, black, white, everybody. Our events are a mix of so many different people, and I believe that does in their brains. There may be events where 90% of the people are Trump voters, but we don't get political, because as long as they're at our events, I hope that they're learning something, and it might change their minds a little bit too. So the one thing, I wanted to tell you this one story, and it's probably gonna make me cry, but I just thought of it when I was sitting there, that about people and families and maybe the impact that we have had, and it sounds bad to say it about myself, but one night there was a woman who brought her son to bingo, and he was 9 years old, and he was questioning his gender, and she told me, she said, he wants to be in drag for this event, is that okay? And I said, absolutely, absolutely. So he came, we talked a little bit, and she said, okay, now, go, and he was gonna put on a wig and all of that, and he did. He came back, this little 9-year-old, and he had the wig on, and I said, hey, how you feeling? And he said, well, I'm scared, but I'm hopeful. And that little guy, that to me is the blessing of what we get to do. I mean, we put on a fun event for everybody, but we get to meet amazing people like Richard. We've done bingo for a lot of you in here. And in this world where there's all of this, I get so upset at the lack of humanity that happens sometimes, we get to be around wonderful people all the time that are raising money for different groups and saving animals and children and all of that. And we get to let everybody's just having a good time and laughing, and it's meaning something. So we truly are the luckiest people, and we thank you, and maybe, another 21 years. I don't know. We'll see about that. Thank you, everybody. You could do it. I knew it. I knew you could do it.
Before we close tonight, we want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this special community and tonight's ceremony. Please don't forget to validate your parking. The machine is in the back of the room. We would also like to thank our caterer, Fresh Corn Grill. Yay! Event photographer, Jonathan Moore. Florist, Brooke Wetzel. Cars Trophies, the City Council and staff of the City of West Hollywood. Particularly Jeff Book. And Jenny Ivanova. Where are you, Jenny? For all they have done behind the scenes to make this all happen.
Thank you and good night. If I could also have all the members of LGAB please come up, along with any of the honorees who are still in the room. We'd like to get a group photo with everyone. And then everyone else, thank you so much for being here. It has been such an honor to be with you tonight, and thank you for supporting all of these wonderful honorees.